Alright, today is Argus Day, Day 3. Same entrance, same little sign. Argus was well known for their stealth and EMP vehicles, as well as this huge monstrosity taking up the better part of the view here.
Few companies have had as tumultuous a history as Aegis Dynamics. From its earliest days manufacturing iconic warships of the First Tavaran War through the darkest days of the Messer regime, Aegis ships have found a resurgence in the public eye for their versatility and robust construction.
Another fun little clicky board. I love how they give you the nice little blurbs. And this is the floor. We've got some stuff downstairs.
This is a friendly reminder that the Tobin Expo Center is a shared...
But the monstrosity that is the Reclaimer, as it sits before us, big beautiful claws for tearing things up and slowly devouring them.
No ship manufacturer personifies this year's theme better than Aegis Dynamics. Whether you're running cargo in a Retaliator or providing security in a Gladius, Aegis ships are putting in work in every corner of the verse. Regardless of the controversies that have plagued them over the centuries, pilots continue to trust their lives and livelihood to their tried and true designs.
Yeah. We're going to get this one because the Reclaimer is awesome. It's not really functional at this point because it's heavy salvage. So it can salvage and process the salvage metals, but as that game mechanic is not currently in game, it's just a big, really cool looking ship. And this is one of the sabers, the Comet. It's one of the Masters of Flight, so part of Squadron 42 stuff. I believe, yeah, they're all the sabers are stealth fighters, but I believe this one is just, yeah, energy weapons. And the saber over here.
Due to heightened security measures in Stanton system, Microtech Protection Services are all guests comes to see.
Yeah, it might be just ballistics.
Sir, please alert the member of staff as soon as possible. Thank you.
But they are a pretty decent fighter, and with the stealth capabilities, you can actually get in fairly close to things before they notice you. This is the Nautilus, I believe. Yeah. So this is the mine layer. So it's going to be basically it's probably going to be small Corvette, kind of like the Hammerhead size, but it's specifically going to be, yeah, it's specifically going to be the mine layer. It's not completed yet, but it's in the works and has been for a little bit, but it's still not there. But it does look kind of cool. And this guy is it the Vulcan? Yeah. Yeah, Argus Vulcan. So this is going to be your mobile repair and refuel ship. So you're going to fly this out to where battle is or some forward action, and he's going to repair and refuel your fighters as they come in. And over here we should have, yep, our little stealth bomber from the video that you should be heard and not seen. This is the Eclipse. So it's a stealth bomber. And since we have the bombing functionality actually in game now, so it ought to be able to be used for bombing runs, which is cool. It does have some fighter capability, but its main role is bomber, so it's a much more capable bomber than a fighter. This guy here is the Retaliator. And it is a monster. It's a heavy bomber. It also shoots massive torpedoes. So in the big events where you're supposed to go repel the Nine Tails attack, this guy holds out the most damage done to the bigger ships because of those, what are they, size 9 torpedoes. And he just decimates. He hits so hard. And it's got gun turns on it, so as long as you've got crew, you can do a fairly good, decent bit of fighting. On to the next. Cool little asteroid display. With the ships going around it. Kind of like the Grim Hex races. Ships flying fast around a busted up asteroid. Alright, here we are. What are our next ships here? Okay. These are the heavy fighters. And Vanguard, the Harbinger. I believe these are actually used in Squadron 42, but they're kind of cool because they're all the same frame, but they do something a little different. The Hoplite, I believe, is a personnel carrier. Yeah. So you pack your Marines in there, fly in because it's an armored fighter. The only drawback is its weapon complement here, other than the turret on top, is these 4 little guns and your main gun there. So it gives you good hit area because it's all tight in one area, but it's not a whole lot of guns in actuality as compared to several other of the fighter class ships. This is the Warden. So, just a heavy fighter. And this one is my favorite of the bunch. Sentinel. Because this guy actually has the EMP on it, so you should theoretically be able to take out a ship without damaging it. And what do we get from this one? Our beautiful little ships. Oh, here we go. These are their beginning level ships that are made for like your starter ship. The Avenger Titan series. It's rated as a light fighter or cargo. So these are like a step up from the actual beginner ships, like the Mustang. They can fight a little more, they have more cargo space, interdiction. They've got a little living space within them. All in all, a very good upgrade from your beginner ship. And this beast, this is a community voted on ship. Basically, the Redeemer was supposed to be this big, awesome ship that the community voted on. and it's turned into a gunship rather than a dropship, but you can still kind of use it as a dropship. I've actually flown it a little bit, and I really enjoy it. My only complaint about it is I can't take over more control of more guns. You only get 4 guns you can control on it. The 2 wing-mounted guns and this little turret underneath. But if you got crew, they can take over your bottom chin turret here, the belly turret, the dorsal turret, and the pilot only has the 2 side guns. Oh yeah, and there's also a turret on the back of it. So it's heavily armed. Missiles, the whole works. It's quite a fighter. Okay. Oh, this is the Renegade, so this is a special ship. Masters of Flight series. So most likely dealing with Squadron 42 stuff. Come on. And that's why it's got the fancy paint job and special loadout. I'm not so hot on the Gatling guns anymore. Before, when you carried more ammo, they were quite effective and kind of what you wanted because they go through shields and damage hulls. But now with the rebalance, they're not as effective. And this is what I was talking about when I say they've got a nice little cargo area, nice little sleep area, and a cockpit you can get to from 2 ways. You can either go through the back and get into it, or you can go from the side like a regular fighter and enter it through the top cockpit shield set there. So that's an extra advantage to them. So you're not just locked to one way to get into them, because occasionally you land and the back of your ship is in a way that you can't access it. And you don't always get the option to get back in that way. So having that second way to enter your ship is very advantageous. Alright, off to the last and final little area. Man, these places are huge. And all the artwork they put into them, very impressive. Alright. Hammerhead and the Gladiuses. These are, I believe, one of AEGIS's oldest fighters is the Gladius. They're a very capable little light fighter. But they're mostly made around the concept of dogfighting. Oh, they've got the little panel you can put your guns and stuff in. Once you land, you can pop your guns back on, your personal guns. But yeah, they've got a good gun complement, energy and ballistic missiles. They're very agile. And this monstrosity here is a Corvette class Hammerhead, which is basically what you bring in to swat a bunch of fighters that are annoying you. Fast patrol ship with multiple turrets designed to combat fighters, the Hammerhead is equally suited to support large capital ships in a fleet or act as a flagship for fighting groups. All we've ever done with it is done the bounty missions, because you can get into bounty missions where they just swarm you with light ships or light fighters, and that thing just swats them. They're not even a contest. It just mows them down if you have a full crew. And this is the Valiant. Another from the Masters of Flight series. So I believe that is Squadron 42 content stuff. Probably why the nifty paint job and special loadout here. Looks like it's all energy, so, but it's still not any competition for that thing. It's just scary how easy that thing's just takes down fighters that come within range. Alright, I believe that is all the ships that are in today. Hammerhead is a good one to end on this note because, well, it is a beast. So I will talk to you all later.